Thank you very much. This is called Climate Resilience Strategies and Urban Health, using community-based system dynamics in a Global South multi-site project. My name is Lydia. I'm a public health PhD candidate at the Royal University of Minas Gerais in Brazil, and a researcher at the Urban Health Observatory in Belo Horizonte. This work is developed under the scope of the GDAR project, and it's sponsored by the NIHR Foundation. Yes, so please, next one. Next, oh, thank you. So we depart from the context of the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events that are increasing all over the world. And here we are talking about floods and landslides, droughts, heat waves, hurricanes in different contexts all over the world. And that are exacerbated by urbanization and pre-existing inequalities, especially in Global South. And we are looking here into the effects of these events on health and its determinants. So our project, the GDAR, it stands for Global Diet and Activity Research Network. We have this work package that aims to understand the strategies that communities use to cope with these climate change related hazards and risks in 4 Global South cities: in Belo Horizonte, Brazil, Kingston, Jamaica, Yaoundé, Cameroon, and Kisumu, Kenya. Please, next one. So we took the community-based system dynamics approach to looking to accommodate different sectors, multi-site diversity, and local specificities, aiming to create a shared understanding and insights on intervention points on this this very broad question that the project tries to address. So for recruitment, we invited civil society members, policy stakeholders, researchers, advocacy groups, NGOs in the private sector. Some of them were previously established relationships with the research teams, and other came via Snowball in the different sites. So in each of the 4 sites, right? We had 5 to 10 adults in each site, a male and female, experienced in climate-related events and hazards in their own local contexts. So as we had this very broad team and different expertises involved, we started by proposing a training for kind of homogenizing as possible the method we were going to adopt. So we chose individual interviews to depart, and then going through thematic analysis of the interview contents. The research teams synthesized a causal loop diagram for each of the sites, and then we proposed a participatory workshop with all the interviewees, participants, so we could present our preliminary model and make the changes together with all the participants, and finally get to a common ground in the CLD. And of course, each site had to do its own adaptations and according to local specificities. And yeah, so when I proposed this work to the conference, we were at this point finalizing the interviews, and from then on, you can change to the next slide, please. I can present now a bit of the results that were from our site in Brazil. So the other sites are still finalizing their models. They had already the consultation with the full participants group, but we are now in the process of writing up the conclusions and the interpretations over this model in Brazil. So basically, as you can see, we have organized our model in thematic blocks. So it's in Portuguese, I'm sorry, but I will just give you a short overview. So in dark green, you have inequalities and vulnerabilities. In orange, you have climatic risk. In purple, health outcomes and risks. And risks. In pink, you have collective action. In light green, you have public power action. In yellow, participation for, preparation for facing climate risks and hazards. And finally, the visibility of the problems in beige. And in the end, at last but not least, in gray, we have the sense of belonging here in your right-hand side corner. So basically, we found this very interesting exercise of coming into common ground with different stakeholders that were looking into these climate resilience strategies that
Lydia, we're just about out of time here, so just
okay, I'm finalizing. Thank you.
Okay.
So yes, basically, it was very interesting exercise to put into contact in giving room for these insights to arise with different stakeholders over the same problem that in Belo Horizonte is specifically related to heavy rainfalls and its consequences, such as floods and landslides, and how the different sectors are preparing and are facing these risks and hazards and disasters. So yeah, basically that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, questions from the room. I see no online questions, but I have a question. I am curious of who would be the prospective users of the model, and how will you entice them to use it?
Okay, so yeah, we have this from the start, we had this perspective of encompassing both like local communities and public managers and different stakeholders on the field. So we think that this model would be helpful for this kind of intersectoral interaction. So both for communities and if you see in the top right-hand side in yellow, like education and preparation for facing these risks and hazards is something that connects to a lot of variables in our system. So we understand that having this product as something that reflects a common shared understanding of how different stakeholders are facing this problem, it might help both educational initiatives and public policies to public managers and policy stakeholders to better understand and orient their actions when thinking about facing strategies to face floods and landslides related to heavy rainfall in our city. And also, previously in another project, we have dedicated a lot of energy to understand how the very process of doing this participatory methods and talking about this with different stakeholders in the same room and processing this kind of activity, this is already something that affects the way they understand and their mental models on how to work and how to engage with the problem at stake.
Thank you.
It answers your question.
Okay,